Today I have the nice Digi lever handle smart lock. This is a lock sold on Amazon for $69.99 US dollars. And I'm going to show you how to install it, how to program it in another video. And I want to test this lock. Being that it is a sub $100 lock, I am not expecting any type of high security. But since I am on a series lately of how to install, program, and general lock review videos, why not jump into the Amazon locks? These are actually very popular locks. I do see this one and others sold on Amazon on a lot of Airbnbs. So let's see if this is worth your $70. Now, before we install this on the door, let's just take one more look at the hardware provided with the lock. We have our 3 mounting screws, 4 1/4-inch screws for our latch and strike, our pin tool. We have 3 screw casings, 2 position columns, a square shaft, and an Allen wrench. We also have 2 keys. These are SC1 blanks, to point that out. Sometimes these Amazon lock keys can look like Kwikset or Schlage, and they are not. This one actually is an SC1 blank. And it also comes with a spare screw for the handle. When you want to remove the handle and put it back in, it is a little grub screw here. So with that said, let's take all of this and install it on the door. So step number 1, we're going to take our latch and set our back set. We have 2 3/4 and 2 3/8. Now, as a side note, if you are setting your latch to 2 3/8, you will be using this hole and this hole for the post hole screws on your lock. If you set this to 2 3/4 and we slide it this way, you will now use this hole and this kind of half circle here. So to show you that one more time, if we adjust this to 2 3/8, this hole and this hole will be used for our mounting screws. If we slide it to the left to 2 3/4, we're no longer looking at that hole here. We're now using this hole and this kind of half circle here. Just want to point that out. I get this question a lot, especially on the Reliabuilt. Same kind of concept here. Once you have found your back set, you will insert this into the door, and we will go on to step 2. Step 3, we are now going to install our screw casings, which look like this. You'll see threads on both sides. These are going to screw onto these 3 posts here. So we'll go ahead and twist these ones on. There's 1. There's 2. We'll go ahead and move the wire out of the way. And 3 right here. Now it should look like this. Step 4, we will take our position columns, which look like this, and we will insert these onto these 2 posts here. So we'll go ahead and tighten these on right here. And our second one goes here. Now what you have is this. Now that you have installed all of your screw casings and your 2 position posts, we are ready to install the front side of this lock on the door. To do this, we are going to fish this wire over the latch, feeding this square post through the hole here. These 2 position posts will go through these 2 holes here. So we're going to fish this wire above the latch. Let me turn this so you guys can see. We are going to push this through, and it will look like this from the outside. Let me just twist this here. From the inside, this is how it will look. 1, 2, 3 of your screw casings and your 2 position posts with your wire above the latch. Our next step is taking our interior side of the handle, making sure that our weather seal is flush. If it's not installed or it's hanging off, it doesn't have pegs like the exterior side. It just has this groove which just presses down along the edge of the lock. Make sure that that is completely flat and not forced, as when you go to tighten this down, if it's kind of loose, you'll either have it sticking out like this or it will fold over. You want to just make sure that that is flat all the way around, not forced, not stretched or anything. And you want it to sit flush against the door. From here, we're going to plug in our power. So make sure that this little tab on the top here is facing you. It's a little bit of a tight squeeze here. So let me see if I can get the camera set just right. We're going to plug this in here. This is a bit of a odd position, so bear with me. We are going to slide him. Come on, come on. Work with me. Work with me. So, this is the thing about the Amazon locks, you guys. Sometimes you gotta work for it. So, I don't have the biggest hands either, and this is a very tight squeeze. Let's see if we can get this here. Well, I want to show you guys real time what goes into this. Let's see if I can get it from this angle here. There we go. Just like that. I had to flip that upside down to do that. But we have our power plugged in. From here, we're going to, there's really nowhere to kind of put the wire to hide it. So I guess it's just going to sit on here like so. Some of like Kwikset and Schlage, you're going to see little tabs to kind of protect the wire. It'll hook. This one doesn't have that. So we're just going to press this directly against the door like so. And then we will grab our mounting screws. Now that we have plugged in our power and installed the interior side, let's install the mounting screws, which look like these. We will place this inside, and you want to make sure that you have both sides lined up and you're holding them like I am on the outside and the inside. That way you can find those screw columns that we installed earlier. So just finger tighten and then lightly tug just to make sure that they caught. We'll install the other side. If it feels like it's just spinning, you can always move the inside here or just recheck that it's straight. And finger tighten again, lightly tug, and one more at the bottom. Make sure that it is catching, which is hard to tell on that one. Feels like these are all there. So let me take my Phillips head screwdriver and we will just snug them up a little bit. We do not want to tighten this fully as a heads up. We just want to go just tight enough to hold this to the door. And then we will readjust like so, just to make sure that it is straight. We will then tighten the other to the left here. These are very long mounting screws. And we will tighten down the bottom screw. Now make sure that when you are tightening these, that they are not fighting against you and you are not having to force the screwdriver. It should be very easy. There should be no resistance If you feel resistance, that would mean that your lock is not centered and you are cross-threading the screw. So now we can just go ahead and snug them. Do not over tighten these screws. They do not need to be over tightened, or you could. This doesn't feel like the strongest plastic, so do not use a drill. If you've watched my channel before, I do not recommend using drills to install locks ever. A lot of times the screws are breakaway screws and you can snap the head of the screw, or if you zip them in too fast, they will protrude and kind of bulge out the front of the lock. Then you will have this little bubble on the face of the lock that doesn't look great, and you can never get rid of it. So hand tools, always the best way to go. Now from here, you guys can check out my video on how to program this lock. Hopefully this helped. If you want to check that video, go ahead and click the link here. And that is all there is to it. That is how you install the nice Digi lever handle smart lock.